Hey, good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, depending on where you are located. So thanks for taking a few minutes to learn and listen about Paladin and what we have to offer. Paladin is a medical equipment manufacturing company that specializes.
Jeremy, just real quick, are you sharing slides right now? Because we can't
Yes.
see them. Okay, we cannot see them.
Hang on
So
a second. Can you see it?
there we go. Perfect.
All right. Let me get back here. Are we good?
Yeah, we're seeing the full screen on that now. Yep. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you. So Paladin's a medical equipment manufacturing company that specializes in mass fatality, decedent storage, and disaster preparedness. So my name is Jeremy May. I'm the sales manager of the disaster preparedness division. I've spent many years working in the medical supply industry as well as hospital settings. So over the years, I've worked closely with government agencies, coroner's offices, medical examiners, emergency managers, and hospital groups. So I understand the need that all of them have. The president of Paladin, David Ronson, he previously worked as an emergency manager, responded to natural disasters with FEMA, fought wildfires in California. So he understands firsthand the needs that are out there and how things operate, which gives us a lot of success for what we do. So over the last few years, mass fatality events are on a dangerous rise. We've seen mass shootings, riots, drug overdoses, flooding, natural disasters, and the current pandemic that we're in now, all driving the need for additional decedent storage. So 2 years ago, we had to learn and adapt very quickly to come up with solutions for mass fatalities on the fly. There were no proper solutions on the market to address such a large scale mortuary surge. So some of you guys out there dealt firsthand with these kind of issues. There were huge logistical problems finding refrigerated storage and features that matched the need with the solutions. So people were bringing in trailers, but they didn't have ramps. They didn't have racks. They didn't have interior lighting. There were large door openings, which let all the cool air out. So nothing that was provided was very functional. So makeshift ramps and racks were constructed out of 2x4s, failing. So the ramps were collapsing as the workers were loading decedents into trailers, causing bodily harm. Forklifts were lifting decedents up in the trailer and literally dropping bodies on top of workers, causing bodily harm as well. Bodily fluids were contaminating everything, causing large biohazard problems. And the big thing for myself was there was no respect and dignity at this point for our loved ones that had passed away. So I'm sure we all know somebody that had passed from COVID, and these decedents were just kind of tossed around and stored however we could find space for them. So Paladin had learned very quickly that things needed to change and adapted to the need. So we now provide a turnkey, medical grade, purpose-built solution. So we manufacture our own morgue trailers. We focused on worker safety, respect and dignity for the decedents, reliability, and we provided a wide range of solutions to fit everybody's need. So we came up with a 17-foot and 24-foot bumper pull morgue trailer. These are our most popular units. We can store from 16 to 24 decedents in these. They could be moved around very easily with a 3/4 ton pickup truck and are powered with a 240 volt 50 amp service. We can also mount generators on the front of them to give you multiple options for powering. We also provide a larger unit, a 53-foot trailer that can hold up to 84 decedents properly. These are bigger in the hospital settings. They're better for longer term deployment and things like that. And we include the ramps, the racks, the trays, the interior lighting, the whole 9 yards. So nothing needs sourced outside of our equipment when it shows up. We also offer 20-foot containers that are set up for decedent storage. And then this is our newest product here. It's the Cube. It's our collapsible morgue. So we're very excited to launch this. When it's not in use, it collapses down into a small footprint, stores away easily, and is assembled in 30 minutes with 2 people with no tools required. Mainly used indoors, but can be used outdoors. Holds 12 decedents with 3 dedicated bariatric slots as well. The other nice thing, it plugs into a 120 volt, 15 amp outlet. So basically the outlet that's in your guys' living room can power our solution. And I just have a quick little slide here to show how easily this is assembled. So that's our polymer racking system that goes inside of the shell. Holds up to a total of 10,000 pounds. And you can see the second slot from the bottom there is a little bit larger for the bariatric patients. Holds up to 900 pounds in each slot there. So all these panels are insulated, impervious, non-porous, so they will not retain any odor. They will not absorb any bodily fluids, and it does a good job on insulation. So we can run this thing at 110-degree outside ambient temperature and maintain a 35-degree internal temperature. And there's our small cooling unit there on the left that provides the cool air. We also understand that, one size does not fit all when it comes to projects. So we offer sales of all of our equipment. We offer leasing options. We have grant assistance programs to help identify funding that's out there. Standby contracts just kind of helps agencies check a box when it comes to their mass fatality plan. And just know, we have a plan in place and get assets here when we need them. And then just a slide of, some questions for agencies to ask themselves. Do we have an emergency preparedness plan? I talk to agencies all across the US and some of them don't even know what their emergency preparedness plan is. So that's a good thing to come up with or take a look at and revise as we move along. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions that anybody has.
Once again, please feel free to unmute your mic or type your question in the chat if you have a question for Paladin.
Jeremy, did I hear you say, I think I heard you say that you have kind of some just in case contractual arrangements that people can sign? Did I hear that right?
That's correct. So we call those a standby contract. So basically, each individual agency will have a little bit of a different contract depending on their need. So basically it says that we will house a trailer, a container, or whatever you need at our facility. And within 24 to 48 hours, if you need that asset, we will have it on the road and on the way to you guys. Kind of how we work around it. There's a small monthly fee for that asset to be allocated specifically to you guys, and we'll store it there. And then once it's deployed, that's when you will, pay your monthly rental rate to lease the unit. When you guys are done with it, call us up, say, hey, we're done with this thing. Come get it out of here. We come pull it out and then bring it back to our facility. If you still need to extend your contract, we'll kind of do the same thing. It'll be allocated to you. And then when you guys are done with it, you're done with it.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you so much for that presentation. So I'm not gonna lie, I thought Paladin was an IT cyber company. And your first sentence when you said you dealt with mass fatality and mass casualty equipment stuff, I was like, oh, this is different. So very good to know. I do remember in the hospital when we were having to commandeer rooms and come up with new processes because we didn't have a morgue, and so we had to store the deceased in classrooms or storage rooms that were retrofitted for these purposes. And I remember that we didn't need a tractor trailer. We needed smaller storage units, and that's what I'm seeing here.
Yes.
So my question here is twofold things. How can we get this information out better to facilities? Because I never knew that these options existed when I was at the hospital. And two, how do you get the deceased onto the taller shelves? If they're internal, or you just have a rolling cot, basically.
So to answer the second part of your question first, we have a cadaver lift. It's a hydraulic foot pump lift.
Okay.
So you'd put the decedent on there, you'd pump it up to the level and slide the tray off into the rack. Our racks are 4 high. So I believe at the tallest point, it's roughly 6 feet tall. So it definitely goes up to that height perfectly. We are doing the best that we can with marketing, attending some trade shows, cold calling, sending emails out all over the place to try to get this information out there. I don't know the perfect answer to, get this information to everybody. If you have any ideas or, any groups that we could talk to get them the information, we can set up a webinar to talk to them, to, present different options, hospital groups. We're doing a cold call campaign right now to coroner's offices because FEMA has the Public Assistance Streamline grant out there right now that qualifies agencies 100% cost share for projects like this. All of our equipment is on the FEMA approved equipment list. So the funding, our equipment qualifies for the funding. And we've quickly identified that coroner's offices do not get hardly any funding at all. So that's why we're trying to target them and educate them that there is funding out there to get them the assets that they, so direly need.
Yeah, I know when I was at the hospital, I got a lot of cold calls, emails, and people even reaching out on LinkedIn. And the one thing no one had was, because we were in total response mode, is I needed that critical information in the first few seconds or the first couple lines. And those pictures did it for me. The second I saw your smaller trailers, the low angle lifts, and the portability of those things versus a tractor trailer, that's what sold me. So I think if you got some of those pictures out, that's the first thing they see, that might work better, because I could have used that.
No, I definitely appreciate that feedback. Yeah, and like I said in the very beginning, we're a turnkey solution. So we provide the racks and the trays, the interior lighting, the ramps, the power cables, the whole 9 yards. Because the last thing somebody wants to do is, when equipment shows up, realize, well, oh shoot, we don't have everything we need. Now where do we source the rest of this stuff? So that's where we've taken the step ahead and provided a real turnkey solution.
Jeremy, I'm gonna stop. We're at our 15 minutes. So Anna, thank you very much.
Yes,
All right, well, thank you. My information's there on the bottom if anybody needs to contact us after. Thank you.